All right, so here what we're going to be looking at is calculating margin from markup and also calculating markup from margin. This is very important because you'll be given some questions where you're going to have a markup and the selling price. And we know from our knowledge that markup deals with the cost price. So in such a question, if you have a markup and a selling price, you need to get the margin. All right, because margin deals with the selling price and markup deals with the cost price. All right, so let's say, for example, if we have a markup of 50%, which means our selling price is 50% more than our cost price, how do we get our margin? So we need to calculate our margin. So the first thing that you do, step one, convert this into a fraction. All right. If you have been given a percentage, convert it into a fraction. All right. So 50% is the same as 50 over 100. All right. So this is into a fraction. So we need to simplify this fraction. Once you've converted it into a fraction, simplify it. So we will say step two, simplify the fraction. So 50 over 100, 50 into 50, that is 1. 50 into 100, that is 2. All right, so we have a simplified fraction, which is 1 over 2. So in order to get our margin, you need to add the numerator to the denominator. Okay, add the numerator to the denominator, meaning what we're going to do here is going to have come 1 over 2 plus 1. That gives us 1 over 3. All right. We can now convert it back into a percentage. So 1 over 3, to convert it into a percentage, let's say times 100. So let's convert it into a percentage. 100 divided by 3. That's 33.3%. So our margin is 33.3333%. You just leave it into two decimal places. So our margin is 33.3%. All right. So let me go back through the steps. The first step, you need to convert the percentage into a fraction. Then the second step, you need to simplify the fraction. The third step, add the numerator to the denominator. As you can see, our numerator was 1. So we're adding it to the denominator here, 2 plus 1. And that's how we got 1 over 3. And then sometimes you can leave it in a fraction form. Sometimes you can leave it in a percentage format. Any questions, Fiona, on this one? Okay. Then let's say, for example, now let's calculate markup from margin. All right. So in some questions, they might give you a margin and the cost price. And you know that margin deals with the selling price and markup deals with the cost price. So you need to convert the margin, you need to convert the markup into a margin. All right. So for example, if we say we have a margin of 20%, So what we need to get is our markup. All right. So same procedure. Step one, convert it into a fraction, the percentage into a fraction. Sometimes they might give you a fraction instead of a percentage. So if you're given a fraction instead of a percentage, you need to just start from step two because the fraction will be already simplified for you, right? So here, 20% is the same as 20 over 100. Step two, we need to simplify this fraction. All right, so 20 divided by 20, that is 1. 100 divided by 20, that is 5. Now, this is where it gets a bit different. Instead of adding the numerator to the denominator, this time you'll be subtracting the numerator from the denominator. All right, so our numerator is 1. We're going to subtract it with our denominator. So let's get our answer here. 3, let's say 1 over 5 minus 1. So our markup is 1 over 4. We can leave it as a fraction or we can convert it into a percentage. In order to convert this fraction into a percentage, we multiply by 100%. And this gives us 25%. So our markup is 25%. Any questions? All right. So sometimes it might be given in a fraction form, in a fraction format. If it's in a fraction format, you start from step two. All right. But if it's in percentages, that's when you start from step one.